Welcome back, everybody, to Movie Mike's From Broken to Built podcast. This is episode 6, and we're just going to get right into it. So this week we're going to talk about a couple of things when it comes to healing, and these are tools that you could use along the way to help you on your journey. And the first thing I want to talk about is the power of small wins. And this is something you could do. It's a daily choice or a habit that you form to help build up to a transformation. So by setting little goals for yourself and knocking them out, and this could be as small as making your bed or, paying a bill off, finishing your laundry. It could be making sure that you compliment somebody or that you get that haircut after work. Just small victories, something that you could claim as a win. And then that builds confidence. It builds self-respect. And you actually improve your mood by doing this. Winning is something that we all are accustomed to. We have all won something in our life, whether that be a trophy or someone's affection, or just the main prize of winning like a Call of Duty match, like that kill cam. But we've all won and we've all lost. And having a little victory in your life can really push you to that next level. And so some of my little victories lately have been, I've been working out a little bit. I consider that to be a victory. I've been trying to walk every day, and I've been trying to up my protein intake, which is hard to do when you don't have much money. But I've been managing to get a lot of protein, and I'm trying to maintain my muscle mass, and I'm trying to build some more while I'm at it. I really want to transform my body and get the kind of body that I see in my mind. So that's a little victory, just walking every day and walking for at least 20 minutes and preferably after dinner so you could burn some fat. But another victory is I have some great news. I'm going to be getting my house back. My ex-wife is going to be moving in with her boyfriend when he buys a house. And that means the house that she's in right now is going to become available. And that's not a little victory. That's a huge victory because right now I'm living at my mom's house in a small bedroom in the back of the trailer. And yes, I have a place to stay, but I don't feel secure. And what I mean by secure is, I don't have a place of my own. I don't have all my stuff here. And I really want to be able to decorate a place of my own and make it my own. And also, another part of this is I'm going to be getting my kids more. And that's a beautiful thing. Because as of now, I've only had them for 2 days a week. And as you know, you can't really build a bond with your child in 2 days. You got to see them every day. So I'm going to be really showing up for them now. And when I get in that house, we talk about surrendering control, but part of my job is to control their life a little bit. And it's not to stop them from doing whatever they want to do. It's more so to instill discipline in them. I want them to help out around the house, to take on chores. I want them to help each other. I want them to sometimes cook for themselves. Maybe sometimes I'm going to be at work and they're going to be left there alone and they're going to have to look out for each other. So these are things that I'm going to have to address when I get in there, and we're going to have to work as a unit because, if one of us falls, we all fall, and we got to stick together because we're family. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about my security mainly, because I felt so insecure lately. Just it's ruined my relationship, honestly. The the fact that I felt so insecure, it showed up everywhere I went. And you can't just flip a switch and feel secure. Like, you got to feel safe. And like this place right here that I'm at right now in my van, this is like the only place I really truly feel safe. So I want to create safety in that home. Another thing I want to do is, while I'm in that home, is get back to my hobbies. That's something that could be a little victory right there, is just doing a hobby that you really enjoy, that brings you bliss. I love drawing with pens. I love writing poetry. I love painting. I love rapping my ass off. And these are things that I put on the back burner because I was so focused on the relationship that I had. And now that's gone. So what better way to honor myself by doing what I used to love? And there's more than that. I want to get into acting. I want to try some comedy. I want to really become who I used to be. And not behavioral wise. I'm just talking about the passion that I had. You know, I kind of lost myself along the way. And it's nobody's fault. It's just, love happened. And as you know, when you're in love with somebody, it consumes a lot of your time. And nothing else really exists when you're in that moment with that person. So now that that's gone, I can really just dive in and try to build some self-respect, try to have security, and build my confidence back up to where it was. So, yeah, little victories. I once thought about naming a photography company or like a production company, Little Victory Studios. But then somebody said that's kind of thinking small. But honestly, little victories are what makes you. Big victories shape you, and they increase your ego and all that stuff. But the little victories build self-respect. So do that. Do something that you could win in that moment. Something that's achievable. And just get it done. And when rock bottom becomes your foundation, lessons learned along the way will force you to reset. So I've had to reset my life. I was, I left my marriage. I moved in with somebody. That didn't work out. I got kicked out of there. And then I moved in with my mom. And slowly everything began to fall apart. I lost my job. I lost my sister. I lost my girlfriend. And everything it felt like the world was against me for a little while there. So forcing me to reset, and now I could focus on building a foundation, because I had a foundation, but it was very shaky. There was nothing that was, structurally sound in my foundation. It was cracked all the way through. And I laid some cement over it to try to put a Band-Aid on it. But ultimately, it was going to crumble. And sitting with these thoughts, sitting with yourself, and realizing the person you've become and how you treat others and what you're headed towards if you don't change, if you don't build a solid foundation, it's just setting you up for failure. And these moments of emptiness and loneliness are necessary to get to the next phase. So now we've taken a jackhammer to that foundation and we've ripped it all up. And we got all the rebarb and the 2x4s in place, and we're about to pour that fresh cement right over that. And when that dries, about 6 months from now, aka when I'm healed and when I'm a whole new person, I will operate out of a place of security and confidence, knowing that I've built a solid foundation after my rebirth. So, how are you going to build a solid foundation? You can't do it while you're depressed, or if you're anxious. You're going to have to ground yourself and approach it as if your foundation was a newborn baby. You can't force anything. You have to be very patient. And you have to develop discipline and motivation. But here's the thing. The difference between discipline and motivation is discipline sustains you while motivation fades over time. So if you develop discipline to show up every single day for yourself and you don't miss a day, and if you do miss a day, the very next day you're right back on it, consistency is the key for discipline. Training your mind to do the most redundant thing over and over again. Yes, some people could call that, going insane. But this is how discipline is formed, by doing the same exact thing over and over again and creating a routine. So I have discipline, but I lack it in other areas that I need to develop, such as the gym routine. I don't always go to the gym. I have been trying to go for walks more, but I need to get in that gym and lift some heavy shit up, And that's something that I feel in my core that I really need to do right now. Call it like the single motivation. Being single, it motivates you to want to get in the best shape of your life. And I want to get myself ready for whatever's next. Motivation fades. You could be motivated 1 minute, something happens, and then you're not motivated anymore. But you want to try to stay motivated if you can, while maintaining discipline. And I believe they help one another. If you stay disciplined, then your motivation will be there. And if you lose your motivation, you might lose your discipline. So keep showing up for yourself. And every time you step foot in that gym and you lift something heavy, or you walk, or you do something that makes you sweat, that's a little victory. You can't see the results right then and there, but with discipline, by showing up every single day, you will see a big change in your body. Your energy levels will go through the roof. Your muscle mass, whatever you're working on, you're going to see results within a couple of weeks even. So, with that being said, you also have to rewire your brain. And we've talked about this in previous podcast episodes. You got to rewire and rewrite the narrative that you've created. You need to learn how to stop living in the past and carrying all those mistakes with you, and start with identifying who you are becoming. Because who you are becoming is more important than where you've been. You can't change anything in the past. What you've did and done is already in the past. You could apologize. You could forgive yourself for going through that and forgive those people for putting you through that. But you can't change it. It's already gone. So you have to move forward with good intentions. And you have to relearn certain things, like your mindset, how you show up and think about things. If you have a defeating mindset and you tend to think of the negative and the worst at all times, then your life might be in shambles for a while. Like, you are what you think. And if you think that you have it together, you are winning, you are happy, chances are you are those things. You are what you think. So start thinking, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day, start thinking of very positive things about yourself, or saying affirmations. We talked about affirmations in a few episodes back. These are agreements with the universe. When you say I am, you are rewiring your brain to think in a different way. So say those things. I am confident. I am strong. I am patient. I am lovable. I am smart. I am funny. I am charismatic. I am forgiving. And I am approachable. Just say those things. And think of your own things to say. And look at yourself in the mirror while you're saying them, because that's an even bigger agreement. You're looking at the person who you're trying to change. Because otherwise, you're just throwing it out there in the universe. Look yourself in the face and agree with what you're saying. Let your body language match your agreements. Your head should be nodding yes while you're saying these things. You should have a calm, relaxed body posture. Not tense up. Look yourself in the face and honor yourself. Because this is you that you have to live with. Nobody else is going to live with you unless you're married to them. You have to show up for yourself. Try to be mindful of what you're talking about during the day. Like if you're saying, I hate this, or I wish this didn't happen, these are things, they're like little spells that you're casting on yourself. So just be a little more gentle with what you're saying about yourself. Use your affirmations to rewire your brain. Say something that you agree with that could change your future. Stop saying self-deprecating things. You are not those things. You are not what people said you are. You are what you agree with, and you are what you think. So try not to be so bad, harmful to yourself anymore. And that comes down to these are the silent battles that nobody sees. Everybody's facing a battle that nobody knows about. Whether it's losing a loved one, maybe being diagnosed with something that can change your life. Financial status can change you. You could definitely be going through a financial battle right now where it seems like you cannot get ahead no matter how much you work and how much you save. It just seems like you can't get ahead. These are battles that nobody else knows about except you. And you need to get rid of the self-doubt, the insecurities, and the guilt, and learn how to work through them. My therapist let me know that I overanalyze. And what that means is my brain tries to solve problems before problems even come up. That's a very toxic thing that I've built within my mind. The fact that I'm so worried about being abandoned that I try to control situations, or that I'm so afraid of failure or letting somebody down that I try to reroute the situation before it even happens. And these things that come to your mind that show up and they cause anxiety Most of the time, it's your mind lying to you. You really don't believe those things, do you? Like, you don't believe that people hate you or that they're judging you wherever you go. These are lies, or that your girlfriend's cheating. Like, that might be the case, but your brain is lying to you, and you don't need to act on every thought that comes to your mind. This is something I've been learning, is my brain tries to trick me into thinking things that aren't true. And as a result, I try to control situations. And it's ruined relationships with friends and loved ones. And I recognize it now. I see that my brain does that. And it's all survival. It's my brain trying to protect itself from getting hurt again. My nervous system is just trying to protect itself. Don't always believe every thought that enters your mind. That is the enemy trying to penetrate your mindset. And you need to put up that shield, and you need to deflect it. Just get it off you. And the way you do that is you could either say it out loud, or in your head you say, this is not reality. This is my mind trying to trick me. This is the enemy trying to get to me. This is not my reality. My brain is lying right now. And you stop yourself right in your tracks. And you think of, you got to have some coping mechanisms too, to work, to calm your nervous system afterwards. If you don't already do it, I suggest that you get on a couple of supplements. If you have a really shot nervous system and you're always anxious, you got to get some vitamins in your system that relax you, such as ashwagandha. You got to have it. I have some here. I forgot to take it today. Another big one is magnesium. You got to make sure you're getting your vitamin D. And you should definitely take some zinc. These are things that I take almost every day. I skipped them the last few days just because I haven't been working. I don't feel like I need to be on point on certain days, and I'd rather save the vitamins for days that I do need my brain and I do need to be relaxed. When I'm just like lounging or I'm just like chilling with my kids, I don't need to be, on point with, thinking of witty stuff. Plus, this stuff is already built up in my system, so if I go a day without taking it, it's not like I'm going to be deficient of it all of a sudden. It's already in my system. So, a lot of these vitamins already exist in your system. But anyway, stop, with the self-doubt. Try to win some small victories. And if you're fighting a battle that nobody knows about, maybe share that with a friend. Share it with somebody that you feel safe around, because not everybody wants to hear your problems. But if they genuinely care about you, you could definitely share that with somebody who you care about. And they're not always going to have the best advice. The best thing that they could do is just show up for you and listen. You don't always need advice when it comes to venting to somebody. Sometimes you just need an ear and some understanding. Try to get through those battles that nobody sees. And lean on your friends and family when it comes to those battles. Don't be afraid to reach out to others. And when it comes to healing, it's not an overnight thing. It's continual discipline. And that's that word again, discipline. Showing up for yourself every single day. When your mind begins to spiral, you use those calming techniques to self-soothe, to work through anxiety, and ultimately you need to go through the uncomfortableness that healing brings upon you. I was writing a song last night, and I got embarrassed because my son was sitting at the table and he was on his phone, and I wrote a lyric that really triggered me, and I began crying. And I try to act tough when I cry. I don't try to show my ugly face and sob. The tears just roll down my cheeks and they drip onto the page. And in that moment, I know that I'm sad, but I'm also healing in that moment. I'm healing something that needed to be addressed. And I don't know if this song is going to be what I have in my mind, but at least I'm doing something creative right now, and this is getting back to my hobbies. I loved writing poetry and music, and it's something that I've always wanted to make an album, a rap album. So I'm slowly inching towards that goal, and just filling a page with lyrics, that's a small victory right there. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud that I have a couple pages in my book of rhymes that are just solid poems. But anyway, there's a couple of victories that I didn't share that I would like to share. So I actually got hired through a company called EPI, and I think it's called empowering people's independence or something like that. And it's a DSP position, and I am going to be a relief worker, and it's going to pay me a little over $20 an hour, which right now, as embarrassing as it is to share this with you, at Advanced Auto Parts, I only make $15 an hour. And my paychecks are so low that I barely survive. Actually, I haven't been surviving. I've been asking for handouts. And that's something that I've never asked for before. I've always been the help in other people's lives. And I've always thought that I was a stand-up guy. And this one day I realized I need help. I don't have enough gas to get to work this week. And I don't have any food for money for food. So I asked Facebook if they could help me out. And thank God that they saw it and people actually did help. And if you did help me out, you have no idea how much that meant to me. I didn't think I would ever be in this position. So the fact that the community held me up when I was falling, it's something that I'll never forget. I am deeply grateful for that. And if I could give back one of these days, I will. Just rebuilding my life right now. And we're pouring that foundation. And I got counseling tomorrow. I'm excited about that. She's going to try to give me a treatment plan this time around. And we're going to talk about more of my issues, things that I want to work on. And yeah, life is improving every single day. And I thank God for that. God has been showing up for me in many ways. And he's been blessing me in ways that I didn't know I needed to be blessed in. So just by surrendering and going with the plan, the flow, things are unfolding naturally. And I'm just going to keep plugging away. I'm going to keep showing up. And I'm not going to give up. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to persevere. And you can too. Whatever you're going through, you just take it one day at a time. Try not to think too far back. Try not to think too far forward. Just stay in that moment and get through it. And everything is going to be okay. Hear it from me. Somebody whose life was in shambles, slowly being rebuilt. And I didn't do it on my own. I had friends help, loved ones. Thank God, for my mom. Thank God for God. He's been helping me in so many ways. Thank God for my sister. Thank God for anybody who's helped me along the way. 'Cause they didn't need to, but they must see something in me that I don't see. And I appreciate that. Just knowing that they don't want to see me fail. I'm just incredibly grateful. Life is a blessing. And every day you have the opportunity to do something great. And you should do something great. Try to get those little victories under your belt. And don't be afraid to reach out to others. These are lessons that I'm learning. I'm trying not to be as prideful as I used to be. There's been people in the past that have offered money to me and I don't take it. I don't believe in that usually. Unless I could pay it back. But right now I know I can't pay people back. So I needed that blessing. And I reached out at the right time. And everything worked out. And next week I start that other job. And just the patterns of way things are going right now, it makes me believe that there's a plan. And I see it. And I'm just going to keep showing up. And things are going to keep happening for me. And they're going to keep happening for you too. Just try not to feel defeated. Don't sit there and self-loathe. Lick your wounds if you have to, but then stand right back up and get back in the fight. It's not over. It's never over. You have the choice. You have the power of choice. You either sit down and you get the shit kicked out of you over and over again, or you put on God's armor, you stand up and you face the enemy. And that's what I've been doing. I've been facing the enemy. And sometimes the enemy's myself. You heard that before. You're your own worst enemy. I needed to look that guy in the mirror and just be a little more soft on him. Because I've been hard on myself my whole life. Somewhat of a perfectionist. And when I let somebody down, I let myself down. I really feel shame and guilt. But you don't have to stay down. You get back up and you keep fighting. And you will win. I promise you. Just keep giving it to God. Don't quit. No matter how hard it gets. You are valuable. You belong here on earth. You are meant to experience all of the things in life. Whether it's the very lowest or the highest parts of life. You're meant to experience them all. And you're not going to stay down forever. Things will look up. Change that mindset. Start thinking of things that could happen for you. Instead of things that did happen and that messed you up, think of things that can happen and obtainable goals that you could reach. Reach for those small victories right now. And when it comes to healing, just be patient with yourself. I know that right now I wish that I was fully healed, but there's steps that you have to go through. And these are invisible steps. Only God and a therapist and, certain people know these steps, but you have to try to be patient with yourself. Just keep showing up. Put skin in the game. You could be so much further in life just 6 months from now. Just stay consistent, develop discipline, and don't backpedal. Don't look back either. You need to hit the ground running. Right after your goals. Run for the future. Don't think about the future, just head towards it. This is a good life. It's got a nice balance of everything in it. You got the trauma, the hardships, but then you also got the joy and the blissful moments, memories that become a part of your core, and values and beliefs that are unshakable. When you develop self-respect for yourself, nobody can come in between you and yourself. I'm not preaching this stuff because I've done it. These are things that I want to work on. And maybe I could unlock or plant a seed in your brain to want to change you. You can change. People do get set in their ways and they fail to move forward because they're afraid. They're afraid of what might happen. But you can change. You're not locked into this character. You don't got to carry all that guilt and shame with you. Put those boulders down and walk around freely. The way God intended it. Just wanted to share a thing about my diet lately. It's been up and down. Some days I eat like junk, and then the next day I'm right back on it. I'm trying to develop discipline in my diet. And I know nobody believes in diets because it's a lifestyle choice. And if I could reword it, I'm trying to change my choices when it comes to food. I make weak decisions sometimes out of convenience. I'm sure all of us do. But one thing I've been doing is drinking Celsius every day. And I had a colleague tell me that he lost a lot of weight just by drinking Celsius. So that's something that I'm interested in right now. I've been trying to get a can of that in me every morning. Helps me focus, pop my vitamins, drink my Celsius. And then I usually skip breakfast and I go straight for lunch. And then for lunch, I've been trying to up my protein. I've been drinking a couple of shakes. Been getting, yogurt that has like 20 grams of protein, cottage cheese cups. But ChatGPT told me that I need to introduce more complex carbs in my diet. And I agree with that. Sometimes I skip over carbs because I was always told carbs are bad for you. Okay. But carbs are actually good as long as you're eating the good ones. So I'm trying to fix my diet. I'm trying to exercise more. I'm trying to feed my brain the vitamins and the nutrition, all that stuff. And the one thing that I haven't really been doing, which I've talked about, is grounding in nature. I really need to get back out in nature and just appreciate what's around me. It seems like I'm always on the go lately, working these jobs, trying to get enough money to pay the bills. And it's just been a whole bunch of challenges. But with a little bit of help from my friends, thank you, I've been able to stay afloat. And me trying to develop discipline right now has been rewarding, honestly. I could see how showing up at the same time, doing the same thing every day, can bring a great outcome. I've already lost a little bit of weight. Today I did some exercises. I went for a walk with the kids at the mall, and then we went and ate. And then I said, well, we just ate like crap, so now we're going to go walk again. So I took them to the park, and we walked another mile. And the kids were making up excuses the whole time. They didn't want to do it, but I want them to do these things with me. It's not about control. It's about discipline. I want my kids to be healthy. I don't want them to develop issues. I don't want their brains to suffer because they're eating, nasty foods. The one thing I could do for them is help them exercise. And that's what I've been doing. It's been a really nice week, couple of weeks. I am in a no communication with my ex right now. I just think I was smothering her too much, trying to ask for too much reassurance. And I pushed her away. So whether or not she's gone forever, that's up to God. I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to try to get in the better shape. Try to find my happiness again. Feed my inner child. Do all the hobbies that I used to enjoy. And just start appreciating life once more. Healing is not an overnight process. It's an everyday thing. And I don't think you're ever fully healed. I think you have to discipline yourself to go through it every single day. Honor yourself. Take care of your body, your mind, your soul. Make sure you're getting right with God if you haven't already. You never know when it's your time to go, so you better be ready. And that's something that I still have an interest in. I want to get baptized and become a reborn Christian so that I could feel the Holy Spirit coursing through my body. I don't know if that's something that's going to happen, but I'll never know unless I go through it. Life is good, guys. We're doing all right. I'm a lot more optimistic. I have closure. I have certainty. And I have hope. I have a lot of hope for the future now. And I want to keep it that way. But at the same time, I want to remember what I've been going through. I don't want to forget this. It's going to keep me humble. It's going to keep me hungry. And it's going to keep me in the game for a lot longer. Thank you all who have been listening to this podcast. I hope that I bring you value in some type of way. I hope that there's some techniques that you've been finding useful, or maybe seeds that I've been planting that are now turning into beautiful plants. And I hope that you're on your healing journey and that you're not just sitting there stagnant. And I hope that you're showing up for yourself every day. Try not to be hard on yourself. Continue to just take your time with this healing journey. Listen to other podcasts. Listen to scripture. Read scripture. Listen to uplifting music. Try not to consume evil entertainment, things that bring you down, things that plant negativity in your mind. And just stick to it. You got this, one day at a time. We're going from broken to built. And that's how we're going to end this. Thank you for listening, guys. I hope you have a blessed night and tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. I love you all.